In this episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief, I sit down with the designer of Theosis Godslayer. I know we had him on the show a couple weeks back before his campaign had launched, but now his campaign is almost over and it has reached its funding goal. So we wanted to sit down to talk to him about their mini expansion that's currently on Kickstarter. So hang on until after Kickstarter Corner as we dive in to talk all about the Theosis Godslayer mini expansion. This episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief is proudly being powered by Braden's World, makers of Heroes of History card game. Sam, the game's creator, was on with us a few episodes back, episode 235, Wishlist Wednesday on Saturday, Heroes of History Take 2 to be exact, to talk about this game, and after we got our copy, we are really excited to get started. It's the only game on the market where you can have Norse heroes fight American generals in a Minotaur's lair, which I can't wait to try out. The new set of Glorious Greeks and Vicious Vikings is out now. For listeners of the show, you can get a 10% rebate on the game by emailing sam@bradensworld.com. We'll leave the email link in the show notes with a copy of your receipt, and he'll get you 10% off. And for the first 10 listeners to leave an Amazon or eBay review, he'll also send you an extra 5% rebate. So visit bradensworld.com and learn more about how you can order Iron Flanks versus Dragon Boat Raiders, as well as the beginner set Midnight Riders versus Echoes of the Plains. Heroes of History. Do you have what it takes to be a hero? This episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief is proudly being powered by Heroes and Treasure, Darkness and Light campaign. The popular Heroes and Treasure family RPG expands with new maps, enemies, and treasures. Play it with kids 4 years old and up, and even teens. This is a game that Getting Geeky with Game Relief wants to bring to the table in Rolling with the Leafs. But to make that happen, we need to help this campaign reach its funding goal. They're over halfway there, and there's still 24 more days to go to get in the fun of it. So if you're into role-playing games and you want to bring that love to your children, make sure you check out Heroes and Treasure Darkness and Light campaign that'll be on Kickstarter through Tuesday the 12th of March. This episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief is proudly being powered by INSURED, the survival-based board game. For 3 to 8 players, do you have what it takes to survive? Would you strategize and manipulate to win? Or would you leave it all up to fate? Find out in INSURED, the survival-based board game. Still unsure? Well, I sat down with the designer to talk all about it. You can go cats at an update number 3 entitled Podcast, and they have reached their funding goal. They're $200 over it, and there's still 5 more days to get in on the fun of INSURED, so definitely run on over and check out their campaign before Thursday, the 21st of February. This episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief is also proudly being powered by Dark Naga, The Haunting of Hastur Hardback 5e and OSR. It's a hardback color omnibus edition of The Haunting of Hastur modules, Dark Naga 1 through 5, as well as VTT maps and extras. And we sat down with Kevin to talk all about it. You can find that at the top of the update entitled Week of February 4th, 2019. They've reached their funding goal, and at the time of this recording, there's less than 48 hours. So don't dilly-dally if you're interested in this. Go check it out before Sunday. That's right, this Sunday, the 17th of February, as it ends at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So don't dilly-dally and check out Dark Naga, The Haunting of Hastur Hardback 5e and OSR. This episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief is proudly being powered by 9 Lives. It's a card game about cats. A card game for cat lovers, cat haters, and cat neutral people. Even dog people will love it too. I really love the art. They have reached their funding goal, and there's still 15 more days to go, as this project will end the 3rd of March. So check out 9 Lives, a card game about cats. This episode of Getting Geeky with Game Relief is proudly being powered by Getting Geeky with Game Relief. That's right, our podcast, as we're trying to fund season number 3. We've already reached our funding goal thanks to 127 backers like you, but there's always room for more. And if we can get 90 or so more, everybody's pledge levels are going to be a little bit different than they were initially told. They're going to have more stuff. And you can find out what more will be on update number 8. So go check that out. And you know what? We're going for some cool videos. We're only $37 away from reaching that goal to get me to doing a video of board gaming with yoga. You heard that right, board gaming with yoga. Help me pick what game or game mechanic. We could do deck building, we could do worker placement, we could do tableau building. It's really up to you guys. But first, we have to get there, so go check out Getting Geeky with Game Relief podcast season number 3.
Getting Geeky with Gamer Leaf, the podcast in which one man strives to level up his geekhood and helping you do the same, one battle at a time. Now, let's get geeky with Gamer Leaf.
Welcome to Getting Geeky with Game Relief. So glad you could catch our chat with the designer of Theosis Godslayer mini expansion. First, let's talk about what's on Kickstarter, and then we'll dive into the meat of the episode.
What is this place? What is it doing here in the Leaf's computer? Oh, it's Kickstarter Corner with the Leafs.
Did you catch our last episode that we just barely released before this one? Oh, you didn't? Well, definitely go back and catch it, as I sat down with Peter to talk all about Head Chef, the tabletop card game of food, fame, and fun. In this tabletop card game, for 1 to 4 hungry players, you will cook food, earn fame, and become, you guessed it, the head chef. So go listen to that interview, and then come back on over and listen to this one. And then you'll be able to see and have a better idea if you like what Head Chef is. But either way, go back and scroll through the Kickstarter and see if it's something you like. They are oh so close to their funding goal, and there's still 6 more days for you to make it a reality. So go check out Head Chef before this Friday, the 22nd of February. Next, from Burnt Island Games, this episode is coming next, so you're going to want to make sure you're subscribed to Getting Geeky with Game Relief, or just click on over, as by the time you're listening, this is probably already out there in the wild. But I sat down with the designer of this one in the Hall of the Mountain King. That's right, it's a territorial denial, cascading production, magic and muscles, an innovative game for 2 to 5 trolls that is easy to learn, but hides rich depth. They were going for $30,000, but guess what? They are at $100,000 and still plugging along. They're over 330% funded. Plus, there's a little bit less than 2 weeks to go to check out this one. So you don't want to dilly-dally and check out Burnt Island Games' latest, In the Hall of the Mountain King. That'll be on Kickstarter through Thursday, the 28th of February. We teased about this one at the first of the episode, but wanted to bring it to your attention. 9 Lives, a card game about cats. That's right, this is a game that cat lovers, cat haters, and cat neutral people, even dog people will love it as well as Leafs. That's right, it is backed by Gamer Leaf, yours truly. And we actually sat down with Ice, one of the designers, to talk all about it. You can find that in the update entitled, We Are Nearly 100%. And don't let the title of that update scare you, as they have since reached 100%. And there's still 15 more days for you to check it out, as this project goes through the 3rd of March. So check out 9 Lives, a card game about cats. They're wonderful art, in my opinion. Next, we've got Duels of Kartasora, 2 players, 6 warriors. It's a shotgun card game with 6 infamous warriors. Quick setup and play, a lifetime to sharpen your battle skills. reminds me of war that I played a lot with my siblings when I was younger and didn't know about hobby gaming, but this one adds an element to it as you play as a certain character, and it's asymmetrical play, so every character has their own moves or powers or whatever you will. And I sat down with the designer and publisher of this in update titled Getting Geeky with Gamerleaf Cartosaur interview. So if you want to go hear my chat with Richard and Jeremy, you can do that and then jump on over and check out their campaign, Duels of Cartosaura, 2-player 6 warriors on Kickstarter through Sunday the 10th of March. And then we've got a role-playing game for you that's on Kickstarter, especially if you like fate-based games. This is called Titan Hunt. It's a fate-based game about fighting giant monsters in a ruined world. That's right. You're fighting giant monsters. And if you know about the fate system, this will be a game for you. The art is amazing, and they reached their funding goal a little while ago, and there's still 18 more days to check out Titan Hunt, as it'll be on Kickstarter through the 6th of March. So check that game out, and bring it to your role-playing game collection. Last but not least, on Kickstarter Corner, we teased about this at the first. We're still there, Getting Geeky with Gamerleaf Podcast Season 3. With your help, we'd like to expand and provide greater content to you than we already do. And you can help us by checking out our Kickstarter. And if you like what you see or like what you've heard, go ahead and share the wealth. Even $1 pledge can get you some super content-based rewards. Plus, if we get at least 100 more backers before the 19th of February, we're going to go ahead and include some even more awesome rewards for each of the different pledge levels. And you can find that in our 8th update, so update number 8. Go check that out, and then if you like what you hear or anything on the Kickstarter page, and you want to show a little bit of love to Getting Geeky with Gamerleaf, go ahead and click on that and either share it or go ahead and back the campaign. Without further ado, we join this interview with the designer of Theosis, already in progress.
Now, let's get geeky with Gamerleaf.
Select your heroes. Perform quests for powers and loot. Explore the locations of AIOLLUS. Prepare weapons and magic. Then enter the arena of the gods. Cast spells. Unfold rituals. Strike with your skills. Till monsters approach. For when you are surrounded, when hell rises, and all hope dies, then fight as a god.
Did that sound familiar to you guys? It didn't to me neither, but this is the story of Theosis Godslayer, the mini expansion that's on Kickstarter for a couple more days, and you know what? We decided we liked talking to him so much that we brought back on the creator and mastermind, one of the designers of Theosis Godslayer. Am I right? That's how you fall in line with this?
Hello, Lake. How are you?
Not too bad. What about yourself?
Fine. Well, I am a bit ill with fever, but everything okay. Since the campaign is going okay, I am always okay.
That's good. Yeah, you reached your funding goal since last we spoke, huh?
Yes, I'm really, really happy now. And we all are here in Dreamcraft Games. We're actually celebrating. We really owe our huge thanks to our backers. They trusted us again, and we have no words to say thank you to them. So what we're going to do is we're going to make great games for them, and everyone will be happy.
Awesome. Now, per se, somebody's new to the podcast since last we recorded together. What can you tell us about Theosis Godslayer, the mini expansion?
Well, actually, Theosis is a co-op, solo, and competitive game. It's a miniature game with two phases. The first phase is actually worker placement, where you prepare for your battle and then you rush into the arena, which is the more skirmish phase of the game.
Okay, awesome. And the mini expansion, what's that all about? Godslayer.
Well, the mini expansion is a really, really affordable expansion of only €8, where you get to the main game a lot of new weapons, a lot of, more power cards, more rituals, but also weapons, artifacts, shields, armors, but most importantly, a really huge miniature of a dragon and a dragon rider, which is about 120 millimeters height, so it's really huge, and the miniature itself is really astonishing. The dragon is really impressive. So all this add up, since the miniature is used for a final boss in the co-op game, which is he's a really challenging boss.
Yeah, and just looking at the pictures of it and stuff, I'm excited for the dragon.
Yeah, it just looks anywhere nice in your desk, in your miniature collection. It's really an impressive miniature.
And it's only $9 if I remember right.
Yes, or €8 or $9, depending where you are. And I have to say, it is a really impressive miniature, but you really have to see it in the arena fighting. Its gameplay is really, really challenging. You have to find tactics in order to be able to beat it, which is really, really difficult. It's one of the most difficult bosses that we have. So it is gameplay-wise, it's a really challenging boss.
So the question then we have for you is, have you beaten it?
Well, I will tell you one thing. I am really, really bad at defeating my own bosses. I don't know. I think I'm more, how can I say it, emotionally connected to them, and I don't want them to lose. However,
yeah, you don't want them to die.
And we have done many play testing and a lot of blind play testing. I will tell you the truth. In order to beat the Godslayer, you have to use all 12 heroes. You need some luck, but most of all, you need very, very careful planning and a very good management in the rotation of your power cards. So you have to have all the players work as one. They will have to collaborate in a way, so they will attack it in turns with the strong power cards. They will defend it again. So yes, we have beaten it, but it took us some time to actually be able, even though we knew what kind of strategies we have to implement, it was a real challenge being able to implement this practically in the board. So it is a real nice challenge, and it was difficult, and you always need some luck. If you are unlucky, then you're not going to defeat the boss.
But it sounds like what you're telling me, it is possible though, so that's good.
Of course it's possible, but it will take the players some time in order to be able to better understand what mistakes not to make, because everything has to be made perfect in order to beat it. So, and every time, since because of the random factor and the way that the boss will behave, the tactics will need to change. For example, some players might think, okay, we'll use these heroes for DPS, so they do more damage. Well, we use these other heroes for tanking. But everything might get twisted, as the boss might nerf some DPS players and destroy their weapons. So in the game, the tactic will have to change. The people will have to be flexible in order to say, okay, we lost these heroes. They cannot harm it anymore. They don't have weapons, and the tanks, the Godslayer destroyed their armor. So we have to change our tactic and use our secondary tanks. Use other heroes that would be healing or buffing to assign them to DPS roles. So they have to change everything in their tactics to accommodate that. So it's not something that you do it once and it works always. No, you have to be flexible in order to be able to win.
Okay, so it sounds like it adds a lot of replayability as well.
Exactly. Yes, exactly that.
Well, that's good to hear. So, per se, somebody didn't listen to the last show or whatnot. I remember you telling us that it was a very low buy-in, and you just told us that it's a $9 you can get the Dragon and the expansion. But somebody didn't check out regular Theosis. What makes Theosis Godslayer and regular Theosis pop as one of the games that my audience should go check out and then back if they like what they see?
First of all, material wise and as in illustration and everything, it's a really beautiful game. All backers that have seen our game have to say that it is a really beautiful game in terms of illustration. So that's one thing. However, all top games are really beautiful this time, and it's a really exciting time to be a gamer, actually, a board game gamer. What we like in Theosis is that it has different modes of play. For example, I always prefer a competitive game. And the game has a lot of take that mechanism that in a group of players, they will hit each other, they will laugh, they will tease each other. Each game, will be very memorable. So what happens when we play the game and on all the blind tests that we made is that the company that was playing the game, actually in the next 1 or 2 days, they were speaking about it. They were saying, oh, remember that this happened and we did that. And so it's actually a really strong game that it leaves a residue behind after playing it. And it has a lot of fun. It's also very fast, so you don't have to look at the rules or complicate things. We kept the action fluid. So you play very fast against each other and you have fun and you discuss it afterwards. Now in the co-op game, things change. On the co-op game, you have to prepare a good strategy, try to implement it, and be flexible enough to change all the things that you have in order to defeat the different bosses. And if not even the boss, the monsters. So each monster has its unique strategy and behaves in a different way. So people will have to change the way they play in order to be able to defeat its monster. So it has more strategy, more. What we were saying after playing each game is, okay, we managed to defeat the monster at the last turn and turn 9. Can we do it in 8 turns? Or can we do it with different heroes? Or should we try, we lost this time. Maybe we should try a different composition of drafting heroes with different powers. Maybe that will help us win this monster that keeps winning us. So it has a lot of preparing strategy until the next game session of which heroes should each player have and which powers he would select, and maybe try to get this artifact and preparing new strategies in order to be able in the next game session to defeat the monster that defeated you.
Yeah, so it sounds like it's quite an experience.
It is really fun. We when playing Theosis, we do have great time. So I think that's the whole meaning at the end.
Awesome. And so somebody goes ahead and they jump on and they back Theosis Godslayer. When will they anticipate getting it so they can try to beat the boss themselves?
The game is already in production from the first campaign. So we're working with Starry Games. It's our strategic partner and manufacturer. They are actually creating the games as we speak. We have a lot of photos from samples they are sending us of miniatures and white boxes and printed stuff. So I think that it will not be long since all backers took the game. Initially, we were saying about the autumn of 2019, but since things are going well, we will really try, and we are hoping that this summer, in a few months, all players will have their game, either being the normal game or the game plus the expansion. We will try to ship them together, and hopefully this summer everyone will have his game.
Well, there you go. Awesome. Now, I know you're not feeling well, so we don't want to keep you all night, but Minus coming over there to play Theosis with you. How would people go about keeping up with you and what Dreamcraft Games has going on next?
You can always visit our website, visit our Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter. We are in all social media, and we would like to welcome them to come. We have more games which we have already created, and we're finishing play testing, so we'll have more games coming soon this spring or summer.
Can you give us any spoilers?
I'm not allowed to give spoilers, but I will give you spoilers.
Oh boy, we don't want you to get in trouble.
Well, the next game is going to be a full co-op game. It's not even semi-co-op, it will be full co-op. It has to do with an ancient civilization and how it struggles to survive against maladies like there are floods and there are fires, there are pirates coming, there will be invading hordes of barbarians. And what you have to do is, it is a kingdom building game, and you have to find a way to be able to survive for some rounds, which is really challenging, but at the same time really beautiful, because you expand, you build the countryside, you upgrade your fortresses, you recruit heroes. So it's something nice that you see on the board coming. So you see the board evolving, and you see a lot of enemies trying to destroy it, but it's something really beautiful. So you build walls, and it's an amazing game. Soon you will be able to see it.
Okay, well, hopefully we won't get in trouble for you spoiling it to us. We won't tell anybody if you don't.
Well, a lot of people will hear it, and the rest of the team will hear it, but they know how I am. I cannot keep a secret, so there you go.
Oh, there you go. Awesome. Well, yeah, like I said, we don't want to keep you, I guess, all day over there, all night over here, but we really appreciate you coming on Getting Geeky with Game Relief with us to talk about Theosis Godslayer. If anybody's listening right now, make sure you hurry and jump on over and check out their campaign, as it's ending this Tuesday at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on February 19th. So make sure you hurry on over and check out everything that's great about Theosis Godslayer. If you need an awesome game to add to your collection, you can back it and get the game and the expansion. But if you just need an awesome dragon to put on your desk, or you already got Theosis, it's only $9 to get the dragon and expansion. So head on over and click that back me button that's there on Kickstarter. And like I said, we don't want to keep you all night, but we really appreciate you coming on the show to talk with us about it again.
Really, really thank you, Lake, for inviting me. It's always a pleasure speaking to you.
We'll have you come back on if you don't get in too much trouble for that spoiler you gave us.
Okay, I will always be available for you. Really thanks, Lake, for the invite.
No problem.
Gamer Leaf levels up. Tune in next week to see if Gamer Leaf's luck holds up.